Hey YouTube, you are not going to believe the results I get while I'm editing photos directly off of the NAS server. You're just going to have to jump in, watch the whole edit, and see how it works. Hey guys, like and subscribe. This whole video is going to be just a real-time edit session working through some CrossFit Games photos. And I'm going to be demoing out for the first time editing pictures directly off of the NAS using Photo Mechanic and Lightroom. Check it out. Enjoy.
Okay, so we are just going to go through the experience of just doing the way I'm kind of moving drives over to it, and we're just going to immediately roll right into seeing how Photo Mechanic or Lightroom will actually work with the files. So I have some old games photos that I just should back up, and they shouldn't just sit on some random drive. So plugging into a computer. This computer is plugged into my router, and the router is also plugged into the Synology. So from there, let's see. Okay, so Clear Games is right here. So it looks like I have 2018 games here, and I have 2018 regionals, and I have some selects. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy these guys, and then, so right here in my network locations, this super cleary, that's the NAS. So it's going to connect. I'm going to go to hard drive backups, which is one of these storage pools I made. And I'm going to create, the way I'm doing it, I know there's a million other ways you can do it. So I'm going to create a folder called Cleary Games, which is the exact name of the hard drive, in case I, for whatever reason, have that hard drive pointing anywhere. I just want to make sure I'm using the same names that the hard drives were. And then I'm just going to put in a little note of what it actually is. So I'm just going to write 2018 games. Okay, so then I'm going to open this up. I already copied it, so now I'm just dropping it, pasting it. And let's see how long it wants for this transfer. Like, I'm not expecting this to be particularly quick. We'll dramatically fast forward to this part. So it's needing to copy almost a terabyte. We'll see what happens. Like right now it says 9 hours. I don't think that that's going to be accurate. Yeah, 7 hours it's at now. We'll give it, so wow, man, 66,000 pictures I took. So that's the combination of games and regionals. So what we're going to do is we're going to let this run for a little bit, so I actually have some content to work off of. And then we'll take a crack at running Photo Mechanic and Lightroom off of those files. This whole test should be noted, though, that I don't have the solid state, I don't know, I'm going to call them like booster drives, cache drives, whatever they're called, in the NAS yet, because I only have one of them, and you need to have two for all the fancy stuff to happen, where I'm really supposed to get the speed boosts. Yeah, so once these files kind of get into the NAS, I'll go through the process of actually trying to edit off of it a little bit. Okay, so different t-shirt, different day. Got all of those hard drives onto the Synology, and now the game plan is let's see if we can actually edit on it. So the only task the Synology is doing right now is backing up from the Synology to the B2 server for Backblaze. If it seems like horrendously slow, I'll pause that, and we'll see if that helps improve performance. But so I'll start off just by leaving up the system monitor the whole time to see if that gives us anything. So this guy right here is telling me what's going on. So to run the B2 backup that's going on in the background is right now putting on a 7% CPU load and using almost none of the RAM, 2%, 5%. So I don't think that that's really doing all that much. So let's get into it and see what happens. So the way I'm going to go about doing this is we're just going to edit some games photos I never quite got around to. So you can see over here, it just shows up hard drive backups. This is the NAS right here. It's just showing up in my places. So let's go for 2018 games. Sounds good. Let's pick, what was a cool workout? Chaos, that was a good one. Men's event 9, but didn't I do everybody's chaos? Let's do these two. Let's do the whole day first, and see how long that's gonna take. So we're looking at finding 15 directories and 20 directories. 10,000 pictures. Wow, I take too many pictures. 11,000 pictures. Let's see. This would take forever normally, so, oh. Well, that's an interesting result. We're open. We're good to go. And it's going quickly. Let's do this. That's going to take forever for me to sort through. Let's just pick a single event and play around with that. So let's open this in a new contact sheet tab. All right, and over here, again, I'll leave like that system monitor info, and we'll see if that, oh, that's fun. It was, aha. So for some reason they did that in a weird way. I have no idea how those guys actually did my ingests, so whatever. So the reason that didn't open was because it listed it as, there's 3 different directories. So let's do that again. Open folder, new folder. So just looking right here, there's been no change yet. Yeah, LAN 2, only LAN 2 is connected. Because, so this spike here is, because so this computer is hardwired into the NAS. Well, it's hardwired into the router. The router is hardwired into the NAS. So this LAN connection is what's actually feeding the data back and forth between the computers. All right, let's get into it. So I'm just gonna edit like I'm doing a normal day. Like there's some old editing notes on this stuff because it's because the editors from the games went through it, but you know that Chris Nolan, what does he know? So this was the Chaos event from 2018 where they went on the field and had no idea what they were gonna do. What are these psychos not picking that picture for? They're saying that one's better? No. Let's see, some booty shots. One of those. The judge is yelling at him. Me missing focus all over the place. Right now, it looks like I'm shooting with the 200 to 400, basically handheld. That's kind of a cool shot. That's kind of cool. Let's see. Some burpees to the line. Let's see. Okay, they're running up to the next station. Somehow that counted as a rep. Pretty questionable. Becca Voigt doing some one-handed dumbbell overhead squats. So, immediate feel, based on what's going on here, is this is 100% as fast as if I did this straight from a drive that was connected to my computer. I felt absolutely no slowdowns here. These are some pretty money shots I took. I did these multiple exposures and shutter drags at the same time. So these ones are the shutter drags where I think I'm just glued on a spot. And then I think I one-upped it a little bit more and did multiple exposure shutter drags, which is just, you know, I'm just pulling out all the shots. The only problem with that, though, is I then had to run from over here all the way over to here. And, yeah, I missed a couple shots. But still got the victory. Loving the victory celebration. Showing the jubilation. She's psyched. Katryn's awesome. And this looks like I then switched to the camera. That's pretty bad. Tia looking a little happy. Brooke Wells. Little overexposed. I kind of blew it. That's the only danger of doing like a crazy shutter drag like that with the multiple exposures and all that is I just didn't change my settings back. Funny though, with the Z6, I wouldn't make that mistake because I would have seen that my exposures were wrong, even though that my monitor was, because my monitor would have been immediately kind of filling me in on how it was screwed up. But so this is already a very, very, very interesting result. So that's the end of that. So now we're going to get real interesting. So I have my 2 stars here. I'm going to pull them into Lightroom. And we're going to edit them. So right now we're just waiting on Lightroom. Okay, import photos and videos at their current location. We got some Christmas pictures ready to go. All right, here it is. Well, I'm gonna put it on for minimal for now because I'm curious about how fast it's gonna be able to scrub through this. So let's do CrossFit with lens correction, minimal preview build. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it just loaded all those pictures in 9 seconds. There's no discernible change in the CPU or RAM usage. Obviously, the network is working. It's working very hard. But it seems to be perfectly manageable. So now let's edit full-size raw images. See how that goes. So we're loading up. So remember, I didn't generate previews. I normally would generate previews. So this process would go faster. But so we're just going to leave our crop window up and just do some cropping for right now. I would normally have my palette buttons plugged in, but I think something's charging something. So right now we are editing some games photos. We are going the exact same speed I would go whether I was plugged in or not. What's interesting is I've done this when I used my Drobo back in the day. Like if I realized I had archived something and then still needed it, I might use the Drobo and have that network connection. And even with that hardwired, I was never getting performance like this. Like these are not rendered previews right now. These are raw files that were brought in, preset was thrown on, and it's just, this is moving at the exact same speed I would be able to edit on, you know, if this was on a drive. That's cool, already good. That's kind of bad, so we're gonna unstar that. Let's put this back to 2-star. And so now it'll start already filtering out the garbage. I don't know, something like this is just so weird and so different that I'm okay with it. Like obviously, this is a raw file, so we're just gonna fix that real quick. Boom, a bit of almost 2 full stops. Perfect. ISO 100, you got nothing to worry about. Alright. Nice little victory shot. Let's center her up. Center her up. That's what I always say. Little Tia shot. I think Tia won that year. Did Tia win that year? Yeah. I think this is the year she started strong and just crushed the whole way. It wasn't even exciting. Good. Crushed. Good, 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 good. As you can see over here, my resource monitor is doing its thing. Alright. So 27 pictures done. Now I just gotta fix color. Fix those exposures a little bit. Most of this is just because I was shooting outside, clouds were coming in and out. You know, as long as I don't clip, it's not really a big deal. Cool shots of Tia looking swole. Alright. It's just tweaking. I think the color in these is fine. You know, these are just quick edits, doesn't really matter. This is more just proof of concept here. Well, so far this is nothing short of incredible. I can't believe this is working so well to the point where this is really going to change up my whole workflow. Let's just finish this kind of, I'm in the zone right now, gotta edit. Annie looking crazed, Katrin doing her thing. Okay, and now let's export these down. We'll put them in a new wallpaper folder so I have them for my computer. Let's throw these guys right over. Should have a wallpaper folder here someplace. Yeah, wallpaper combo. So we'll do 2018 games photos. Okay, new folder, choose. We're gonna crank these out full size, no shrinking. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, this is going a little slow. Funny enough though, this is not, this to me, the export feels like Lightroom right now. Lightroom has just gotten, every time they say it's getting faster, it just keeps feeling slower and slower. And even if the result is that the NAS is slow on the export, that doesn't matter, because when I go to export, I'm done. I'll queue up a couple exports and then just set them and walk away. So for me, not really a big deal. So very interesting results right now. We'll track down, talk more about it once I get these done, and we'll then throw in the solid state drives, see how that works.
Thank you so much for watching. Next video is going to be a video workflow where I'm going to test out Adobe Premiere on the NAS. Check it out.